Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another gadget that I think you're going to really like. It's the Orei WHD-Pro100-K HDMI wireless extender. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did a clip on a standard HDMI extender, which involved a transmitter unit and a receiver unit, but required a LAN cable between them. And a lot of people asked, well, isn't there a wireless version of this? So I reached out to our good friends over at Orei and said, I know you guys make a lot of wireless connections for HDMI. Send me one and I'll review it on the channel. And that's exactly what I have here in front of me. So what this product does is allow you to connect up the transmitter to an HDMI source, the receiver up to your widescreen TV or your display, and wirelessly will transmit HDMI content between the two. Now the unit fully supports 1080p HD content, and it'll transmit that content up to 30 meters away, or about 100 feet, line of sight. So you can't actually transmit through walls because those block signals, but if you've got a clean line of sight between the TV and actually what you're going to be broadcasting to the TV, you'll be in really good shape. And it actually will go around corners a little bit. I've done some testing with it. Now, what I'd like to do with this clip is actually show you what comes with the kit first, as sort of an unboxing, just so you understand all the components that are included. And then I'll actually take a closer look at the components and explain all the connections you'll need to make to use these with your own equipment at home. And then I'll come back one more time and I'll show you how to use this with a unit. I've got a portable media player that I'm going to show you connected to the transmitter. I'll connect the receiver up to a monitor and we'll transmit some video between the two. So stay tuned and I'll do the closer look next. Inside the kit you'll find the receiver unit, the transmitter unit, a power supply for the receiver, a short power cable for the transmitter, USB-A to micro USB. You'll also find a Y cable that has two USB-A connections and a single micro USB, and that can be used with a computer if your USB-A ports can't supply enough power with a single port. You'll also find a full instruction manual that lists diagrams, connection information, warranty details, and anything else you'll need to understand how to use the unit. With the receiver unit, you'll find a few connections along the back. There's a power port here, it's a micro USB connection. HDMI output port here, this connects up to whatever TV you'd like to enjoy the content on. And there's an infrared in port right there that can be used with an infrared extender. On the front of the unit is a pairing button. Again, if you have trouble connecting to the transmitter unit, you can hold that pairing button in for a couple of seconds. The light will start blinking to initiate the pairing. The transmitter unit is pretty straightforward as well. On the one side, you'll find a micro USB connection that's used with the included power cable to power the unit. Micro USB on this end can plug into any USB-A port on the other end, whether that be a wall charger or a port on your computer. There's a pairing button right there that you can push again to instigate the pairing. You've got a full-size HDMI connection here. Make sure you take this protector off, and that plugs into whatever device you'd like to transmit content from to your receiver unit. And that's pretty much it. You'll find ventilation holes as well to keep the electronics inside at a comfortable temperature. And then finally, there's an LED right here that indicates whether it's powering up or it's in paired mode. It'll turn from red to blue. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use the Orei wireless HDMI extender with your own equipment at home. And for this demonstration, I have a monitor set up over here that'll act as my display device, and I have a small media player set up over here, and that's the content I'll transmit wirelessly over to this display. I have the receiver unit here and the transmitter unit here. Now on the receiver side, I've got two connections, an HDMI connection to the monitor, and I've plugged the power supply in, and I've got a micro USB connection here, which plugs into the port of the back of the unit to supply power. On this side, I've got one more USB-A to micro USB connection. Now, if your media device has an open USB-A port, you can plug that directly in and that'll supply all the power you need for the transmitter. You can also use an external power supply, or if you've got a laptop, you might want to use the Y connection they include as well, in case each of the USB-A ports on your laptop can't supply enough current. Now, the first set of connections I'll make are with the receiver unit. I'll plug the HDMI connection into the back of the unit. There's only one port there. And then I'll plug the power in, which is the micro USB port. Now, the minute you apply power to the receiver, it starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking all the electronics to make sure they're working okay. It's also checking the resolution of the monitor to see what type of video it can display. It makes whatever adjustments are needed to give you the best picture. So that's going to take a couple seconds for that to happen. And now we'll plug the HDMI port into the back of this unit. So I'm plugged up. You got to make sure you take this off. There's a little plug on the end of it to protect the connections. And I'll plug that into the HDMI output port there. I'll plug the micro USB in here, and then I'll plug that into an open USB-A port over here, and that'll supply all the power I need actually to run this. Now when these first power up, they're going to have a red LED on it, and that means it's going through a power on self-test, and you can see this one's got a red LED on it already. Now once that red LED goes out, it's going to start looking for the other unit. So the receiver right now is sitting there scanning, waiting for the transmitter unit to come online. This is going to take a few minutes as well to go through a power on self-test. It's going to check the resolution of the output device on this. It's going to look for the frequency to make the connection between the two. And you'll know you're in good shape when it turns blue. Now this one's already blue, means it's scanning. This one's still red. We'll give it a couple of seconds and it should find the receiver unit after it passes its power on self-test. The minute it does that, it'll start sending the content wirelessly to the secondary unit. Now, if you have a problem where they don't actually find each other and the connection doesn't happen, there is a sync button on the front right here. It's a pairing button and a pairing button on the side over here. You can press both of those and that'll force them to reset their connection and start searching for each other again. Now, right now, it's found the content and it's transmitting it over there. Now, again, there's no connection between these except for that wireless connection that's being transmitted from here over to the receiver unit, and there's your content. So it really is just that simple to get it working, and that can be any HDMI connection for pretty much any media device you have. I hope you found that closer look and demonstration helpful, and I love technology like this that allows me to extend the use of equipment I already own. And I'll give you two examples of how I use this product. Now that the evenings are getting a little bit cooler, we like spending time out on the patio, and it would be really nice to watch a TV show out there. So I connect up the transmitter to one of the media devices in the house, I'll connect the receiver up to a TV, and we can watch whatever we want out on the deck without worrying about dragging all of that equipment out there. The other place I use it an awful lot is I work from home. So I'm doing a lot of teleconferencing on Zoom and Teams and other platforms, and I'll have my laptop on the desk in front of me. I'll connect the transmitter up to that. I'll have the receiver connected up to my widescreen TV, and that way I can see everybody on that conference call really clearly on the screen. It's incredibly easy to use. It's pretty much plug and play, so it's an easy setup, an easy breakdown. I can move it around as I need to. And Orei is a company that's really wizards in this space. They build a lot of technology around HDMI extensions and audio extractions and ARC converters, pretty much anything you need for audio and video. They make a product to be compatible with that. And I've reviewed a lot of their products on the channel before, and I have a few more that I'm going to review as well because I use them pretty much all over the house for different things, and I just love their products. They're rock solid. So hopefully you enjoyed this clip and you found value in it. I love doing this kind of content, so expect more of these from us. And until next time, stay nerdy.